This is a clip from an earlier live stream. I know you're going to like it, so the link to the full video is down below. Check it out. I'll see you over there.
What I did wrong, saying essentially things were fine until they weren't fine. And I'm just going to let you hear him in context what I've done here and what he has to say about me. Take a listen.
When Candace works for you, do you sometimes look back at the decision and think that wasn't a good one when she was working at The Wire?
Yeah, well, I certainly think that hiring Candace is probably the biggest mistake of my professional life so far. At the time,
I agree.
I had misgivings about Candace, but it wasn't a completely cynical decision. I believed that Candace could be a great force for good in the world. I still believe that. Candace is the most talented person I've ever met, not just in conservative media, but in any media. She has it. You know, she has that star quality. You know it the moment that you meet her. Unbelievable charm, unbelievable charisma. The camera absolutely loves her. She has incredibly unique gifts and skills in that area. And when she wields those gifts and skills for good, she's incredibly effective. She was during the BLM movement in America. Some of the content that we made when we first brought Candace on was focused on that topic. And I think she was as good as anybody in the world and made a really positive impact. I've said before, Candace is like nuclear energy. You know, if you harness it properly, she can power a city. If you lose control, she'll flatten the city. And I think that's what we're seeing now. Candace, all those same gifts that she has at various times used for good, she's now using for ill. And there's no one better. The problem is, if what you're pursuing is bad and you're the best at it, you're going to do an incredible amount of damage. And Candace is doing an incredible amount of damage.
So what's amazing about that?
Is this true?
He's not even aware of how objectively racist what he just said was.
What?
We brought Candace on because she was critiquing Black people.
That's not what he
We
said.
brought her on because it was nice to have a Black person that was willing to call out Black Lives Matter. And that's largely why I brought her on. That's why we did. And she was doing great. We did the documentary and she talked about how Black Lives Matter had grown into really what it was a Black supremacy movement where they were no longer fighting for equality. Actually, what they
You do realize that's not what that man said, right? We literally just saw it. Why are you interpolating what the man said to something different? That's not what he said. Wow.
I believe that. I stand by that. I have not shifted my viewpoints on BLM and the fact that it was going to ultimately backfire on Black America like it did, burn down Black American cities. But then that, oh my gosh, when she then noticed that Israel was actually flattening cities, really bad analogy there, Jeremy. When she noticed that actually the Jewish community was acting like the supremacists suddenly, and noticed that they were acting exceptionally. They wanted to be treated exceptionally, and they were coming after speech. That's when I realized that this energy couldn't be harnessed. That's when we realized we had a problem. Oh, it could do great damage. It could flatten a city like Bibi Netanyahu did to Gaza. That's when, oh, man, she was a talent when I could teach her to go after Black people. But then when she sort of noticed that Jewish people were not behaving correctly and were making demands in a similar fashion and coming after people's lives and livelihood, that's when, we had to draw the line.
Wow.
It's very bad. It's amazing. And then he's going to correlate my show to pornography. Take a listen.
You say people tell you that they listen to Candace. I had a guy tell me recently, he said, you know, what should I say to my wife? You know, she keeps telling me about things that she hears Candace say, and I don't even know how to respond to them. I said, well, I would just respond by telling her fun things that you saw in some porno video that you watched. He said, whoa, what are you talking about? I said, well, the same level of shame should accompany both statements. Like,
I agree.
One should be ashamed to say publicly that they're watching Candace Owens now. And Candace Owens, who is at war with the widow of her purported best friend, Charlie Kirk. This is so far beyond the pale. You know, the fact that people can say with a straight face, oh, yeah, well, what do you make of what Candace said? What I make of it is that it is a kind of pornography. It is rhetorical pornography. It does the same thing that regular pornography does. It titillates, it stimulates, it's slightly naughty. It's great for getting clicks, and it makes tons of money on the internet. And you shouldn't be able to look at it if you're under 18. Or
I mean, okay, you know what? I'm sorry, Candace. You don't need to say anything else because Jeremy cooked you. I'm sorry. I agree with him 1,000%. Like, what did he say that was wrong? What did he say that wasn't true? Now, she's gonna just jump on the porn thing, because then she's gonna bring in that allows her to bring in Jews. She's gonna talk about Jews and pornography. I know that's what she's gonna do, because she's as predictable as the weather. But he wasn't lying though.
Now I remind you that one of the reasons I got fired is I said we should look into the history of pornography. Don't ask him that question.
I told you.
Ask him about real pornography and where it comes from.
I told you.
Don't do that. Don't you dare, because then you would be the kind of nuclear energy that we can't harness correctly. Now, when you talk about pornography, you should talk about real pornography. You should talk about podcasts where people are getting educated and recognizing that there are double standards, and that you cannot use emotional arguments like BLM did and like we are seeing Israel do today to go, you can't talk about the facts. George Floyd died, and we can't talk about any more facts, and this is crazy, and we're all sad, and we can't even discuss things rationally. Same thing, Israel post-October 7th. He is arguing like a leftist. But the moment where you really...
That's wild word. Y'all, okay, we are going to watch the full Jeremy Boring interview, and we're going to have to go through it and enjoy that, because I don't need Candace interpreting it. I need Candace to tell me that Jeremy wasn't cooking, because Jeremy cooked her butt. I'm sorry.
Recognize that I had hoped that he checked into treatment, to be honest with you.
Wow.
But he has zero self-awareness is when Jeremy accuses me of being self-aggrandizing. Take a listen to what he had to say.
What?
Candace Owens is engaged in as I see it, Candace is engaged in a project of self-aggrandizement. I've asked Candace on 2 separate occasions, what do you actually believe? And on both occasions, she told me, I believe what the people believe. I am the voice of the people.
What? I've heard that.
Never mind that that's a completely amoral statement. Never mind that I don't know who the people are in this conversation.
Facts.
Never mind that the people, whoever they are, can obviously be wrong. Candace is actually saying something somewhat profound. She's saying, I will say whatever gets the most reward. She may not even know that that's what she's saying, but she's articulating audience capture as a virtue.
This is incredible for so many reasons. So the first and foremost, that is obviously made up. It's such an obviously made up conversation. Who just comes in and goes, what do you believe?
No, I've heard her say that. I want to say it was on the Dave Rubin show. She said, I believe what the people believe. Somebody's going to pull that clip up. I know it's going to be on X, so please make sure if you find it, bring it to me. I know, yeah, I've heard her say this, and I've heard, no. And you're having it in the midst of a conversation, Candace. You're not this obtuse. You're just being up. She tries to present it as if she's the most rational position possible. Ma'am, you're being silly. You're being silly.
For context. And then someone just replies and says, I believe whatever the people believe. Believe regarding what? Are we talking about faith? What are we talking about? The transgender movement? We don't just ask someone. I asked her 3 times. She said, I believe whatever the people believe, because I just want clicks, which is why she took this path of going up against Black Lives Matter as a Black person and putting on a Trump
That's not what he
hat,
said, though.
The easy route. That was obviously the easy route to get clicks back in 2016. It's completely ridiculous. But to pretend that I am into myself, I have to just shout this out, because there are Daily Wire employees. You don't understand what we live through, guys. And they need to hear this. And they're just somewhere, they're passing away listening to Jeremy Boring talk about somebody who likes attention. Jeremy Boring is the CEO who woke up every day. Like, I'm his biggest regret. So many more regrets that I could toss out of him. I'm going to try a few. Like, getting up every day, going into the office and getting your hair and your makeup done to play the role of a CEO. Making talent, people who had shows, wait outside while you close the room, had people wash your hair, do your makeup, and style you. Hundreds of thousands of dollars on a clothing rack so you could go sit in the office and take phone calls like a CEO. That probably actually was the honest Jeremy. He's always been an aspiring actor. That's who he wants to be. He wants to be on a stage, and he literally builds stages every time he speaks at the Daily Wire. Jeremy Boring is a person that is so obsessed with himself and thinks about nobody else that he put the company into debt. What happened? What's the true story? What happened to the Daily Wire? Jeremy Boring was wanting to live out his boyhood theater kid dreams, right?
So, somebody could just the same drag all of Candace's dirt out there for everybody to see, but she's a shameless woman. She doesn't care. She knows that she has just as many skeletons in her closet as Jeremy, as Ben Shapiro, as anybody else. She has just as many skeletons. She doesn't care. That's the thing. She's shameless. Most people have a level of shame. She is shameless. Finish up, Jason.
Flew out virtually the entire company to Hungary to bring a book that he read in middle school to life. on a budget that would make HBO blush, paying to transport bulls across the continent of Europe, and in the process, obviously plummeting a once financially healthy company into the ground. I am told, last number I heard, was $67 million spent on a high school dream. So much money that he had to borrow, empty a savings account, borrow money personally from Ben Shapiro to make ends meet because he couldn't let go of his high school dream. That's not ranking as his number one regret, because that's the true story of what happened to the Daily Wire. Everything else is noise. Actually, the Bulwark podcast, which is no friend of mine, they hate me, they were pretty frank. If you go back and listen and honest about what happened at the Daily Wire, they spent some time investigating it. Take a listen.
Because of the Daily Wire's enormous revenues, they were in their streaming ambitions. Jeremy Borg was able to become, not just like to finance this, but he is the director and the creator of it, this like incredibly ambitious operation. And so like they made these production diaries. And so I watched these videos on YouTube of them filming it.
I heard about this.
Are they capable of doing this? I mean, we're talking about like
No.
100 extras, like fist fighting in a marsh in Hungary, like the mist is coming in, all like enormous crews. Then they're like, well, we're flying off to Italy.
And this was on the Daily Wire's dime they were doing this?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh my God.
And it's, oh yeah, we're flying to Italy to film with bulls, but they were imported from Spain, so it's all good. Like it's authentic, and you're just like ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. And it still hasn't come out.
Well, that might explain
That actually has come
some of
out.
this departure agreement where you're spending millions on a bizarre.
Okay, I am not gonna go long on this. But okay, Daily Wire, and y'all know why she's calling out Daily Wire, right? In the chat, y'all know I need to see tiny ponies or little tiny horses in there. That's the reason she's going against Daily Wire, because she's upset. She's offended because they're making fun of her. That's it. And the Pendragon Circle, I actually heard about it. It sounds like it's pretty good. I'm gonna go find it. Maybe we'll watch it again. But if I find it, we'll watch it. Maybe we can stay up all night and watch, do a marathon. But that's why she's upset, because Daily Wire has been cooking her grits with these doggone shorts they've been doing. I know you liked that episode. This is actually a clip from a larger live stream. The link is down in the description, so you can go check it out. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you down there. Grace and peace.